This afternoon, we are going to have more sun than clouds, but we will have some clouds kind of filing on throughout the day. Temperatures are going to climb up through the teens and 20s this morning, get into the 30s, and after we get past noon, we should get above the freezing mark, and that combined with the sunshine should do a lot of melting today, and we'll get into the mid to upper 30s for highs. It is still going to be chilly, even though we are going to be about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, but it should really feel pretty nice under the sunshine and those temperatures in the 30s and nearing 40 degrees. Now, I know that you know it's been cold, but let's just look at the numbers. The last 32 of 35 days have been below normal. That is a big number there. We're talking about over a month worth of temperatures have been below normal. And the last time we actually had back-to-back above normal temperatures was in early October, the 9th and 10th there. And we may do that again as we get into next week. It's just going to be a climb that happens here. So temperatures are going to be climbing up gradually. And as we head through the weekend, we'll get closer to 40 degrees, still below normal, but improving. As we get into next week, we get into the mid 40s, and that would actually be above normal, particularly on Wednesday and Thursday, and that'd be the first time in a while that we actually got above normal. Of course, temperatures above normal in October, more like the 60s and 70s. And this time of year, we're just hoping to get close to 50 degrees. So we'll at least get kind of close to it next week. And we can just hope that it continues for a little bit longer after that. We are seeing some trends that we could see another cool down as we get into the end of the month of November. Let's just focus on the good stuff for the moment. And this weekend, not going to be half bad. We are going to have, unfortunately, some clouds around. Clouds are going to be building during the day on Saturday. If you are heading out to Kinnick, we don't have to worry about any precipitation. It is just going to be chilly with temperatures around 40 degrees at kickoff and those clouds in the sky. Not going to be too windy either. Don't think we're going to see much in the way of precipitation really on Saturday. Just going to have those clouds in overhead, and that's going to be ahead of a system that comes in on Sunday, and it looks like the system is going to be coming in pretty early on Sunday, likely late Saturday night into Sunday morning. And as a result of it being early in the morning, we're going to have some cooler temperatures. It could lead to some snow or wintry mix and some rain that does fall. So that could lead to some slick spots out on the streets early Sunday if you are going to be out and about. So something to be aware of there. Temperatures should recover though in the afternoons this weekend to close to 40 degrees. Then as we head into next week, we do continue that warm up. We'll go into the 40s, getting into the mid 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with another chance for a wintry mix on Thursday. And right now we do have a winter storm watch that has been posted for Saturday as we are watching a powerful storm system coming into eastern Iowa. And we have been talking about the south has been kind of part of the trend here for a while, but now we're starting to get some better certainty on where the heavy snow will fall. There's still some question marks about it, but enough confidence to issue a winter storm watch for areas south of Highway 20. Still going to see some impacts further to the north, but this is where travel is going to be the most difficult and where snow is going to be the heaviest. So let's talk about it. The snow going to be fluffy in nature, but heavy at times, especially south of Highway 20, and up to 10 inches of snow will be possible because we are going to be able to work with less moisture as the air is going to be very cold. So that's going to lead to that fluffy snow that is also going to be easily blown around. We're going to have wind gusts of 30 plus miles per hour. That's going to lead to some blowing and drifting, which could reduce visibility and lead to the roads just staying covered even as crews work to clear the streets. The cold is going to be another factor in this because temperatures during the day on Saturday will be in the teens. Wind chills will be well below zero. So if you happen to get stuck, that's going to be a big issue because it is going to be dangerously cold and just get even colder as we head into Saturday night. So we are going to have the storm starting to come in as we head into Friday night and Saturday. And as it takes this dive down to the south, cold air gets yanked down. And we are going to be in the zone that will be in place for the heavier snow. The question is, where exactly does this system go? Latest trends have pushed it a little bit further to the south, but any shift in the track will change where this heavy snow band sets up. Either it's near the Iowa-Missouri border, it's further to the north, it's further to the south. So that's kind of the big question right now. Let's talk about how we get there though. For today and tomorrow, we're going to have the calm before the storm. We did have some snow that came through last night, still some slick side streets out there, so keep that in mind as you're heading out the door. It is going to still be chilly, of course. Temperatures are starting off in the teens and 20s, but warmer than yesterday, and we don't have that big wind chill factor like we did yesterday. So today is going to be a bit nicer. We are going to have more clouds than sun, but should see some peaks of sunshine at times. Temperatures going to be in the 20s to around 30 degrees, and then we cool things down tonight. Basically a copy and paste forecast for Friday. And then Saturday. We are going to have snow coming in during the morning hours, 8 to 9 o'clock, and it is going to push up to the north. Now, there's still going to be some snow almost area wide, but look at these pockets, these darker blues going to be happening south of Highway 20, bulk of which occurs in the late morning and early afternoon with the heaviest snow. That's when travel is going to be likely at its worst, and that snow will then wind down as we head into the evening hours. But we're going to be dealing with the wind blowing, colder air moving in as we head into Saturday night. Still could be some blowing and drifting as we head through Saturday evening as well. Then, of course, we have we need to tackle the snowfall forecast, and there's still going to likely be some changes to this, but lower amounts in the north and west. We will have a zone of 2 to 5 inches near the Highway 20 corridor, and we're looking at 5 to as much as 10 inches of snow occurring then in the southeastern part of the area. There still could be some changes. There's still some uncertainty because of the exact track. That'll change where that heaviest snow does fall. So for today and tomorrow, we got the calm before the storm, temperatures in the 20s and 30s, much colder as we head into the weekend, plus that snow, difficult travel on Saturday, especially for areas south of Highway 20. We stay very cold for Sunday, and then we do see some improvements as we head into next week. We have a week filled with ups and downs. We're on this roller coaster ride still, but the ride does not go quite as far down or quite as far up, so it's a little bit of a lame roller coaster, I guess. But compared to what's been going on in recent weeks, we've had this brutal Arctic air come into place. So we're talking about just not having as many extremes of what we've experienced, but we do have some more ups on the board compared to last week, which is great. Today, unfortunately, is a down day, but we're back up above freezing and above normal as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. We go back down on Thursday and then up on Friday, and we're going to talk about why that is happening, but that is just going to be the case through this week. And despite having systems come through to knock back temperatures, we're not looking at much in terms of precipitation. But right now, there's been some precipitation showing up and not much hitting the ground there, but it's possible that as clouds come on through today, we could see a few flurries come out of them. Otherwise, what happened is another cold front came on by, and that went from our temperatures yesterday of sunshine and the 30s above freezing to down in the single digits this morning, and even some of us below zero, 4 below in Olwine and in New Hampton, 0 in Waterloo, Decorah, 2 above in Cedar Rapids, 7 in Iowa City and Washington. Luckily, we don't have too much of a wind to fend with, but it's feeling much colder outside. Kind of a little shock to the system compared to yesterday afternoon. As we head through the day, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures will be climbing up into the 20s, but going to be running about 10 degrees lower than where we were yesterday afternoon. Tonight, we'll have some clouds passing on through. Temperatures start to drop initially, but then the winds pick up out of the south and will stay in the teens, so it'll be warmer tomorrow morning. High pressure came in behind yesterday's front. That scoots off to the south and east. Those winds pick up out of the south. That starts to pull in some warmer air. We have a warm front that passes through tomorrow, and that's going to pull in some even warmer air. Unfortunately, quickly following that will be a cold front that will start to switch the winds back out of the north, and some cooler air will start to come on down. You can see some precipitation trying to develop with it, but it would be very minimal, maybe some drizzle, maybe some flurries, but little to no accumulation is expected with that. And part of that has to do with what's happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We have this area of high pressure, a big ridge that's been sitting off to the west. It's been basically opening up the floodgates to cold air coming in, but we're actually going to get a chance to get under this ridge at times. So we get some warmer air that comes in, cooler air comes back, and we're just kind of on the edge here. So we are going to continue to see this back and forth that happens, but despite having these systems that come through that lead to the back and forth, we have northwest flow in the upper levels, which is usually a pretty dry flow for us, kind of cuts us off from moisture. So we're looking at little to nothing in terms of precipitation, but we have these ups and downs temperature-wise. So the 20s today, 30s and 40s for Tuesday and Wednesday. We're back down into the 20s on Thursday, and then we go up on Friday, and then we get sent back down over the weekend, but we're not going to be experiencing quite as cold or brutal conditions as what we've had in the last few weeks.